Hi. I'm going to tell you guys memories about my bus driver that used to drive me to Lighthouse. That's the school I used to go to. Checked out there. Stopped going there around 20. It's a private school. But they don't give out GEDs Lighthouse doesn't do that for all their students. So, I left there a year before I aged out. At 20. So, I want to tell you something that Bob the bus driver has gone on that have told all the stuff he has told me, that I have told my daddy, that I'm now telling you guys, the audience. Okay? So Bob the bus driver was a 50-year-old man or something in his early 50s when he said this. All these things to me. He was and also sometimes when he was at his end of his 40s area, he mentioned these things to me, these kind of inappropriate things to me. He made comments like inappropriate, he would tell me his sex stories he would tell me his sex stories that he had with girls when he was younger. And looking in better shape. And he's basically anorexic looking dude. Like, you know the Christian Bale from Machinist? He looks about skinny like that quick. But somehow, he claims Bob the bus driver, also known as Robert Powers, is his full legal name. But he says his true closest friends call him Dude. Not even Rob or Bob. His closest friends call him Dude. And this idiot has a girlfriend named Melanie. And she's kind of normal looking, but Bob is like this anorexic looking ugly fella. He's lost all of his teeth, practically, because he doesn't take care of them, it looks like. Probably because he smokes too often, and probably he doesn't take care of his teeth either. I gotta tell you another memories with Bob. All these memories with Bob. One time, he's not Bob. His name's Robert. Robert Powers. His full name is my bus driver. He drove me to Lighthouse School. Robert Powers told me the sex story one time when he had these two grown female one was her fat best friend who she was sleeping with. While she was still in a relationship with this guy and hasn't finished filing the divorce papers, and they haven't finished going through the whole divorce things yet. But she's like, but this person is not a lesbian. That's what at least Robert Powers told me. So it's not a lesbian if two girls are having sex behind a guy's back. That's not a lesbian. That has nothing to do. They're not a lesbian. They're still acting it. Okay. So it's like Basic Instinct. It's like a lying contest. That lying to. It's like the stuff that Bob has told me about this. It says she was traumatizing me at that time. When he first told me this. But the fact that I'm telling you guys just makes me find myself hilarious. And you told me this. The fact I can tell you guys how much of a terrible person he has told me. Oh, my trauma. He actually traumatizes me by telling me that's all. All of his terrible. He's just an idiot. I mean, I don't understand, I don't understand Bob. Or Robert, Bob, tomato. His name's Rob, but I have called him Bob to him directly when he was driving me. Robert Powers, the bus driver. And Robert Powers, the bus driver, he said like this, like he thought he found the experience of these two people that he was talking about, that he was renting places with them as their roommate. And he decided to tell me one time he was one time these two females touched Bob's penis and gave him and basically jerked basically played with his penis and gave him when he was aroused, and it was hard. One was a fat bitch, he said, and one was a bitch that was in shape, and is what he's called. And I can't remember what he said. Like one was a fat bitch. At least that's what he told me. So he said it was basically one of the best sex stories he has ever had that he has experienced for him personally. He said that was one of the best. That was like one of the. He says he found this whole experience fun and kinky and strange. The whole thing that happened to him. Bob the Bus, Robert Powers. Oh, it was so funny. Kind of think of it. I'm telling you this about Robert Powers that he has told me this shit. Okay. One time, Rob Powers, this was when he was like around 51 and going on 52. I think he was in his early 50s then when he told me this. This was after he already hit 50 and was going in later in his more in his 50s, but still was in his early 50s at the time when I knew him last. Okay? So one time he was making like this, like these. He was kind of, one time he was eyeing this mother and daughter together and saying the daughter is so much hotter than the mother. Just wait look at her face. Just wait till she grows up. She's going to be like she's going to be is what Robert Powers said. You'll never guess what he said this to me while he was eyeing this mother and daughter playing together hula hoops in front of and we were like, and he was like this eyeing them, and he was like making comments to me and while looking back and forth at them, and he's basically asking me well, commenting, and he's asking me if he's a sick person that he thinks about getting it on with the daughter that's playing with the mother. He told me, he guessed was around age 10 or 5. Robert Powers told me this while driving me home from school, or it was one of the times when he was driving me home from school or to school. Or was it, yes, it was one of those times, but Bob Powers was in his early 50s at the time, and he was driving me at the time, and I was kind of horrified that he asked me that question. Like, he asked me, there's nothing wrong with, like, he asked me for a serious question. It asked me, like, there's nothing hypothetically wrong with Robert if he's thinking of doing it with a 10 to 5-year-old, but he wouldn't act on it. And I didn't know how the fuck to answer that to him. So I just said, no, I don't think you're crazy. I lied to Robert Powers, my bus driver, because okay, I think he's a little crazy because, you know, and I think he's, like, I think he's a little crazy because, I thought it was strange one time when my bus driver, Rob Powers, I found he was taking a piss in the back of the Upton location me and my dad and Mommy Lydia were living in. And he was urinating in back of the porch in the back. He was urinating right in back of the house. And luckily nobody, as far as I knew, saw him because it was right in the area where, unfortunately, I actually caught him when he was just finishing up, because I was wondering what the fuck. Why is he not in why is he not in the driver's seat? And I was wondering, where is he? So found him just finishing up in the back, peeing in back of the house. And he admitted that's not the first time he's done that. He does it always. He's done it before. He's usually quick about these things, and normally he doesn't get caught. peeing in back of the house we were living in. He was literally peeing on the house property that led into my big brother AJ's room. Because he lived in the base, his room was in the basement at the time of the Upton location. Luckily, my big brother was not home at the time, and he just, like, because I can only imagine how my big brother AJ would be traumatized. That's his legal name, his first legal name, my big brother AJ. That's his legal name, by the way. His full legal name. My big brother AJ, unluckily that wasn't home, my big brother AJ wasn't home all the time, because I can only imagine if he actually got pee from Robert Powers' urine, and if AJ opened up the entrance from the basement that leads into my big brother's room, because my big brother's room is in the basement. And this little entrance that you're gonna, like, take to go out of the basement, and that's where Rob Powers was peeing on. I can only imagine how my big brother AJ felt if he saw Robert Powers peeing on him. He would kill the fucker. It would be fucking hilarious if that happened. Too bad it didn't happen. Oh. Did I ever mention this big black fat girl called Miss James? That was a teacher, a fat diabetic looking fella. She made this comment now when I was going to Lighthouse School. Says she only likes the Tomb Raider movies because of Angelina Jolie's boobs. Not because she actually thinks the Tomb Raider movies are good. She really thinks they actually suck. The only thing that's good about is Angelina Jolie's boobs, is what she says. Not because she actually thinks the movie's actually good, right? She only basically says, that's what she sold to me directly. And then after she made a comment, she laughed and giggled a bit to herself, like she was doing so funny. I don't understand why she told me that in school. When I was going to Lighthouse School as a student there, and she was a teacher there. I don't know why she told me that. Back when I was a student at Lighthouse School. I mean, I don't understand why she insulted me for being a Cyclops fan of X-Men, of Cyclops, X-Men member. She thought I was stupid because I like Cyclops, the character Cyclops. I like Cyclops next to Wolverine as my X-Men characters from X-Men, and she thought I don't know why she had to make fun of me for liking Cyclops and liking X-Men the animated series more than the Fox Universe X-Men in 2008 during my first year at Lighthouse School. And a little beyond that, she did that whenever I actually mentioned, she did it often I can't remember why it felt off into my head, even though it was this one time in 2008 when Miss Jane told me that Cyclops sucks. This was the same year she kind of did the same thing with me being a fan of the Avengers and wanting the Avengers movie to happen before it come out, and she thought it was a stupid thing to want. This was in 2000. She basically liked to shit on everything I pretty much like and was into. SpongeBob and so on and so on in 2008. That was my teacher, Miss James, in 2008. I remember how miserable it made me, those comments that she told me. I want to make everyone miserable like me for a while. And that's why I started to make my YouTube show in the first place in season 1. And then I changed my mom, and now I'm just making it this because I want to make more YouTube content of reviews and stuff. Like reviews. This video is going to be a different video. I'm talking about memories, I guess. And this was when these all happened back when I was still going to Lighthouse School, the private school I went to, starting in 2000 when I was a kid, and I left from there at 20. In 2017, the year is when I left, at 20 years old. Then I started my YouTube show and posted a batch of my first episodes in season 1. A good amount. And here I am now. I'm still making videos. Oh, did I ever mention everything I need to mention in this video? I'm thinking. I'm trying to mention if I mentioned all of my memories I was thinking on in my video before I stopped recording. Yeah, I think I did. Did I mention Robert Powers is a skinny twig fella? Looking fella, he's short and mad skinny like a skeleton. No muscles, no fat on him. Just bones and flesh. is what it looks like. He looks like that one of those fucking fellas. And he has admit he doesn't work out. Good day, and he doesn't work out regularly. He told me that. I was bragged about that. Rob Hallis did to me. He also talked about he doesn't like water. He doesn't like drinking water. He only likes drinking soda, and he's a simple man. He only likes drinking beer and soda. He's a simple man. Is what he says. He's like a normal guy. He only drinks beer and soda. Never drinks water. When he got his dentures, Robert Powers, he decided to only wear the top layer of his dentures, not the fucking bottom layer of his dentures, because he says, "Oh, this is me and you, dude. You're the only one that noticed me losing the bottom layer of my dentures, but nobody else. If you see them when they look in contact with me and see me in person, they don't notice me missing all of my teeth on the bottom and the little ones that I don't have any left on the bottom because there's gums on the bottom. But you see, it only matters if you have." For some reason, he thinks that people are completely oblivious to the bottom set of the teeth of the jaw. When I kind of doubt that, I'm pretty sure they can see or they just want to say anything. They probably don't want to say anything.